ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So good morning everybody. We are discussing about black body radiation. So we discussed about black body already. What is a black body? It is a good absorber and good emitter. Good absorber and good emitter. So whatever is the energy incident on that body, it absorbs all the energy. It absorbs all the energy and it emits all the amount of energy what it absorbs when it requires. So that is called a perfect black, but there is no perfect black body in this universe. Nearest approach is lamp black and platinum black. And what is the construction of the Ferris black body also we discussed. But energy distribution, how the energy varies in case of black bodies. So it emits energy in all possible equally in all situations. So what is considered as emissive power? Amount of energy radiated by the body per unit time per unit area at particular wavelength. That is called emissive power. But this emissive power remains constant at all wavelengths. Emissive power remains constant at all wavelengths. Emissive power does not remains constant at all wavelengths. It must be varies with wavelength. If the wavelength increases, the emissive power maybe increases, maybe decreases, and with respect to temperature also. So if this is what we are discussing, thermal radiation. Due to the loss of heat energy, the temperature of the body maybe decreases. Due to loss of heat energy, temperature of the body also decreases. Or due to gain of heat energy, the temperature of the body increases. Here the variation of temperature, variation of wavelength, then variation of energy. Three values here. Emissive power. So that means if this can be explained with the help of one graph, so that is how the emissive power varies with, let us say it is emissive power and it is wavelength. Wavelength is denoted with lambda. So that means if the wavelength increases in such situations, the emissive power also increases up to certain radiation and again decreases like this. Emissive power of the body initially increases with certain wavelength and then decreases. And next, so the wavelength varies, the emissive power of the body also varies. Next, its wavelength varies like this. So this is the situation. This is the situation. This is the way the energy varies, emissive power varies with wavelength. For different wavelengths, the radiation of the emitting body is also different. For different wavelengths, the energy emitted by the body also different. So that means this at particular temperature, the intensity of the emission, that means the intensity of the radiation is maximum. At particular wavelength, the intensity of the radiation emitted by the body is maximum. From that point onwards, with increase in wavelength, the emissive power of the body, that means the intensity of the emissive power of the body decreases. Intensity means, so that means how much, that is intensity of radiation. That intensity of radiation is inversely proportional to square of the distance. In the starting point, starting of the radiation we discussed already, that is one of the property of the radiation. So now here, this means the intensity of the radiation increases with respect to wavelength, then it reaches to maximum at particular wavelength, after that it again decreases. So this is also intensity of the radiation increases and then decreases. Intensity of the radiation increases and then decreases, and decreases. So like that. So that means how the emissive power varies with the wavelength is, based on this graph we can explain everything. So that means if the Here the intensity is maximum, the wavelength is minimum. If the wavelength increases, this is shift towards right. The peak value shifts towards right. The peak value shifts towards, that means see here it is the peak value. For this is the peak value. For this is the peak value. For this is the peak value. So that means due to the decrease of wavelength, the peak value shifts leftwards, or due to increase in wavelength, this peak value shifts right side. Due to decrease of wavelength, if the wavelength decreases, the peak value shifts towards left. See here, at lower wavelength, along x-axis I am considering the wavelength. So from this point onwards, the wavelength value calculating. So at this point, the wavelength is minimum. So but the intensity is, this is the maximum peak value. And here the next intensity, next wavelength, the peak value decreases. Here next intensity, the peak value decreases. Here the peak value decreases. So due to increase in wavelength, the peak value must be shifts towards right. But due to decrease in wavelength, the peak value shifts towards left. So that means this is a distribution of energy, law of distribution of energy, how the energy distributes based on this wavelength. So that means due to, this is the starting point, origin. Here the wavelength is 0. Now the wavelength increases gradually, the intensity of the radiation also increases to maximum. The intensity of the radiation also reaches to maximum. Again from that point onwards, due to increase in wavelength, this value decreases. So based on this, we can write one law, that is Wien's displacement law. That is Wien's displacement law. Wien's displacement law is the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. The wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity, that means at this position whatever is the wavelength, that wavelength is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. That means if the temperature increases, wavelength decreases. If the temperature increases, wavelength decreases. Or if the temperature decreases, wavelength increases. That is the situation. So let us say it is T, this is T, this is T, this is T. So that means while moving in this direction, what we conclude that wavelength increases. So this is the origin. While we are moving towards right, that is positive x-axis. So from this point onwards, let us say it is lambda 1, so lambda 2, so lambda 3, lambda 4, like that. So definitely lambda 2 is greater than lambda 1, lambda 3 is greater than lambda 2, lambda 4 is greater than lambda 3. So the Wien's displacement law is the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity. If during this process where the thermal radiation, intensity of the thermal radiation is maximum, so here the intensity is maximum. At this maximum intensity, whatever is the wavelength here, lambda 1. For this maximum intensity, wavelength is lambda 2. For this maximum intensity, wavelength is lambda 3. For this maximum intensity, wavelength is lambda 4. So that means for the maximum possible intensity of radiation, the corresponding wavelength lambda is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. So that means lambda 1 greater than, lambda 2 greater than, lambda 3 greater than, lambda 4. Sorry, less than it is. Like this. Here it is lambda 1, here it is lambda 2. Lambda 1 less than lambda 2. While we are moving from 0 to this direction, that's why wavelength increases. So, but here T1 greater than, T2 greater than, T3 greater than, T4. So, at this position the temperature is maximum, more. At this position temperature, their temperatures. These are the wavelengths and these are the temperatures. And the wavelength goes on increases, but temperature goes on decreases. So, that is the Wien's displacement law. The wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity. At what position we have to consider the wavelength? At the maximum intensity only we must consider the wavelength, not at all positions. If the peak value, if the graph reaches to the peak value at certain position, that is considered as maximum intensity position. At this maximum intensity position, what is the wavelength? That only we have to consider. That wavelength is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. That wavelength is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. So that is called Wien's displacement law. So that from this lambda T is equals to constant. So that is lambda T equals to, that constant is called B, where B is called Wien's constant. Wien's constant. So B, that is. So from this the value of B is equals to 2.89 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Wavelength unit is meter, that is temperature unit is Kelvin. 2.89 into 10 power minus 3 meter Kelvin. Small m is not milli, this is meter Kelvin. Lambda unit is meter, wavelength unit is meter, temperature unit is Kelvin. So this value is constant value. B is equals to 2.89 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter Kelvin. So this is the Wien's displacement law, and B is called the Wien's constant. Based on this, let us say we can calculate the temperature of the moon like that. So for example, if the wavelength coming from the moon is approximately, it is 15 micrometers, then we can calculate the temperature of the moon. So if the lambda is equals to, let us say 15 micrometer, that means 10 power minus 6. So based on that we calculate the temperature of the moon like that. If you know the value of lambda, then we can calculate the value of T. So that is T is equals to how much? B value always remains constant. B value does not changes. If you know the value of lambda, we can calculate the value of T like that. That one we can calculate the temperature of the moon. So by substituting this we can calculate this. So approximately, so 15 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into T is equals to 2.89 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So 15 into T is equals to 2.89 into 10 cube. So T is equals to 2890 divided by 15 approximately. Approximately it is 200 Kelvin. So let us say this, instead of 3015, 2s are 30, 200 Kelvin. Approximately temperature of the moon is 200 Kelvin. If the wavelength of the radiation coming out of the moon is approximately 14 to 15 micrometers, then the temperature of the moon is 200 Kelvin. Based on this we can calculate. This is Wien's displacement law, that can be calculated like this. These are the lambda ones and this is the temperatures. If the wavelength increases, temperature decreases. So here it is the maximum wavelength, minimum temperature. So that is Wien's displacement law, it is called. This is the energy distribution of the black body. So black body does not emits equal amount of energies for all wavelengths. If the wavelength changes, the energy radiated by the black body also changes. If the temperature changes, that means if the wavelength changes, the energy radiated by the black body also changes. So wavelength changes means temperature also changes. So that's why this is energy radiated by the black body also varies with temperature. Energy varies by the black body also varies with the temperature. That is the situation. So that means this is Wien's displacement law. It depends on wavelength. That wavelength depends on temperature. That means we can say that emissive power also depends on temperature. Emissive power also depends on temperature. Simply we can write this. So that is Wien's displacement law and this one. Next. Next we come to the Stefan's law. Stefan's law. What is Stefan's law? So that means if the body kept in the surroundings, what happens? If the temperature of the body is greater than the surroundings, if any body is kept in the surroundings, if the temperature of this body is greater than the surroundings, what happens? Definitely this body loses heat energy. Therefore, the amount of heat energy lost, that means emissive power of the body is directly proportional to fourth power of absolute temperature. That is Stefan's law. If any body kept in the surroundings, then that body starts maybe gaining power or gaining energy or losing energy. If the temperature of the body is greater than the surroundings, definitely the amount of energy lost by the body, that means the body emits energy. So that means the emissive power of the body is directly proportional to fourth power of absolute temperature. That is called Stefan's law. Simply we can write that emissive power of the body is so directly proportional to absolute temperature, fourth power of absolute temperature. That is the situation. Now, emissive power is directly proportional to fourth T power 4. How can you define emissive power? The amount of heat energy radiated per unit time per unit area at particular wavelength. Emissive power is defined as the amount of heat energy radiated by the body, per unit time per unit area at particular temperature and wavelength is directly proportional, that is directly proportional to T power 4. Therefore, Q by T proportional to A T power 4. So, rate of flow of heat or rate of loss or rate of gain, here emissive power, that means amount of heat energy lost by the body per unit time or the amount of heat energy gained by the body per unit time. So, Q by T is considered as power. So, power is directional A T power 4. So, P is power, where E is called emissive power, and here P is called only power. Generally, power is nothing but energy by time, and per unit area also considered, that is called emissive power. So, this is P proportional to A T the power 4. So, where we can write P is equals to sigma A T to the power of 4, where sigma is called Stefan's constant, So, the value of sigma is equals to 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8. This value also remains constant. Sigma is equals to 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8. 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8. So, this is the sigma value. What is the unit of sigma here? So, sigma can be written as P by A T to the power of 4. P can be written as unit of power is watt, by area unit is meter square, K power 4. So, sigma unit is watt per meter square Kelvin power 4. Unit of sigma is equals to watt per meter square Kelvin power 4. That is the unit of sigma. And so based on this we can write power can be written as sigma radiating power sigma A T to the power of 4. So now this law exists only for black bodies. So according to the Stefan's emissive power of the body is directly proportional to fourth power of absolute temperature. So E proportional to T power 4. So based on this P equals to A T to the power of 4, P is equals to sigma A T to the power of 4, sigma A T to the power of 4. So P is equals to sigma A T to the power of 4. This law exists only for black bodies. This law exists only for black bodies. So, but for any body, the power or radiating power or the emissive power P is equals to, we can write E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. So this is called Stefan's Boltzmann law. E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4, that is called Stefan's Boltzmann law, where E lambda is emissivity of the body, emissivity of the given body. What is the emissivity of the perfect black body? 1. Emissivity of the perfect black body is 1. But for all the bodies, remaining all the bodies, this emissivity must be less than 1. Only for black bodies emissivity is 1. Remaining for all bodies, this emissivity must be less than 1. So that's why the emissive power of the body can be written as E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. This is called Stefan's Boltzmann law. Actually this was proposed by Stefan. So this exists only for black bodies. For any body, thus Boltzmann proposed this one. Small correction in this. So that's why it is called Stefan's Boltzmann law. E lambda is the emissivity. For any body, the emissivity must be less than 1. Only for black bodies it is 1. So that's why no body does not radiates total amount of heat energy absorbed by it other than black bodies. Other than black bodies, no body can radiate heat energy whatever it is absorbed by it. It does not radiate completely. So that's why this is the emissive power of the body. So from this we can write P proportional to T power 4. Emissive power is directly proportional to fourth power of temperature. Okay, well and good. But we know lambda proportional to 1 by T or T proportional to 1 by lambda. So from this we can write P1 by P2 is equals to T1 by T2 whole power 4. P1 by P2 for two conditions, P1 by P2 is equals to T1 by T2 whole power 4. So next in place of this one we can write T1 by T2, from this we can write T1 by T2 is equals to lambda 2 by lambda 1. T1 by T2 is equals to lambda 2 by lambda 1. So from this we can write it is lambda 2 by lambda 1 whole power 4. In terms of wavelength, emissive power in terms of wavelength at particular wavelengths. So in place of T1 by T2 we can write it as lambda 2 by lambda 1. This is the situation. This is the Stefan's law and it is Stefan's Boltzmann law. We can use any one relation based on this. The wavelength only given, how can you find out emissive power? Just it is lambda 2 by lambda 1. If the temperatures are mentioned, it is T1 by T2 whole to the power of 4. So like this. Next, for this we can write So next, how can you, Stefan's law can also be expressed in another way. So what is that? See here, if a body of temperature T, if a body of temperature T is placed in surroundings of temperature T naught. If a body of temperature T is placed in surrounding of temperature T naught, then how can you calculate the emissive power of the body? What we can calculate this? This is now, if any body is placed in here, see here, T is greater than T naught. So that means if the hard body is placed in the surroundings, if one hard body is placed in the surroundings, what happens? Gradually the temperature of the hard body decreases. Gradually temperature of the hard body must be decreases. So decreases continuously. After certain time it is equal to the temperature of the surrounding. After certain time it is equal to the temperature of the surroundings. No doubt about that. So now here, if T is greater than T naught, in this situation, what we can do is, so that means first of all, due to the more temperature, definitely the body loses heat energy, radiates heat energy. So the emissive power of the body of energy radiated by the body, amount of energy radiated by the body per unit time, that is nothing but power. So we can write it as P emitted is equals to E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. So due to the more temperature of the body, definitely the body temperature decreases. Temperature of the body decreasing in the sense, the body loses heat energy. Definitely the body loses heat energy. So therefore P emitted is equals to E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. So like this. But if the body is placed in the surroundings, definitely that body absorbs certain amount of energy. If any body placed in the surroundings, the body loses heat energy, at the same time it absorbs. But when compared to emission, absorption is negligible. That's why we are not considering. But due to the temperature, due to the surroundings also, the body absorbs certain amount of energy. So the amount of energy absorbed by the body per unit time, amount of energy absorbed by the body per unit time. So that is P absorbed, that is equals to E lambda sigma A T naught power 4, where T naught is the temperature of the surroundings. From the surroundings, the body absorbs certain amount of energy. From the surroundings, the body absorbs certain amount of energy. So P absorbed is equals to E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. So P emitted is equals to, this is the emitted. But which one is more here? When compared to absorbed, emitted must be more. When compared to the absorbed, amount of energy radiated by the body must be more. So therefore P net power, net emitting power or radiating power. So P net is equals to definitely P emitted minus P absorbed. Net power in the sense P emitted minus P absorbed. So what is emitted power? E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4 minus E lambda sigma A T naught power 4. So therefore P net is equals to E suffix lambda sigma A T power 4 minus T naught power 4. E lambda sigma A T power 4 minus T naught power 4. T power 4 minus T naught power 4. That is the concept. P net is equals to. But it is P net is nothing but dq by dt, rate of loss of heat energy. So that is E lambda sigma A into T power 4 minus T naught power 4. dq by dt is the rate of loss of heat energy. Rate of loss of heat energy. dq by dt. So dq can be written as ms dt by small dt is equals to E lambda sigma A into T power 4 minus T naught power 4. ms dt, S is the specific heat of the body and dt is the temperature difference. Definitely the body loses heat energy. In calorimetry, if the temperature of the body decreases, how can we write dq formula ms dt? In the same way, in dq can be written as I am writing ms dt. So here mass can be written as volume into density S dt by small dt is equals to E lambda sigma A into T power 4 minus T naught power 4. So small dt by small dt is equals to E lambda sigma A divided by volume into density into specific heat into T power 4 minus T naught power 4. Rate of loss of heat energy or rate of loss of temperature dt by capital D, capital D is the temperature difference. This is the time. E lambda sigma A divided by V is density, V is volume, rho is density, S is specific heat. Here V is volume of the body and rho is density of the body and S is specific heat of the body. S is the specific heat. Sigma is Stefan's constant, E lambda is the emissivity and A is the area of cross section. So this is the application of the Stefan's law. If the body at high temperature is kept in surroundings, then temperature of the body is T and temperature of the surroundings is T naught. Then we can write E lambda sigma A into T power 4 minus T naught power 4. T power 4 minus T naught power 4. So there is dt by dt is equals to this one. So this is one of the application of Stefan's law. This is absorbed and this is emitted. What is the net amount of power radiated? Emitted minus absorbed. That means when compared to emitted, absorbed is very less. So very, very small. 158 in module 1, page number 158 in your module 4. So 158, question number 8, see here, question number 8, how can you do these problems? Two spheres of the same material have radii 1 meter and 4 meter and temperatures 4000 Kelvin and 2000 Kelvin respectively. The energy radiated per second by the first sphere is, which one is more and which one is less? So that's we have to calculate. See here, we know energy emitted per second, sigma A T to the power of 4. So let us say P1 is equals to 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8. Area can be written as pi r square. So T power 4. So this is 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8 or directly we can calculate the ratio also. So pi into what is the radius of the first body? 1 meter. So that is pi into it is 1 square into T is 4000 Kelvin, 4000 whole power 4. So that is 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8 pi into 4 power 4, 256. 256 into 10 to the power of 10 cube whole square, 12. So that is, this is the P1. Next P2 can be written as, it is also 5.67 into pi r square into t power 4, t2 power 4. So that is 5.67 into radius, it is 4 square. Radius is 4 square. Next, it is 2000 whole power 4. 5.67 into pi into 16, it is 2 power 4, 16 into 10 to the power of 12. So that is 5.67 into into 10 to the power of minus 8. (5.67 10 power minus 8). 16 into 16, 256 into 10 to the power of 12, 10 to the power of minus 8. This is P1, this is P2. P1, P2, 5.67 10 to the power of minus 8, 256 into 10 to the power of 12. This is also 256 into 10 to the power of 12, and this is pi. So therefore, we can write it as P1 is equals to P2. P1 equals to P2. So that means equal in both the cases. Or simply we can write it as P1 by P2 is equals to A1 by A2 into T1 by T2 whole power 4. Simply ratio. So that is A1 is pi r1 square divided by pi r2 square. This is 4000 by 2000 whole power 4. Pi gets cancelled. R is 1, r2 is 4 square. So that is 2 power 4, 16. 1 by 16 into 16, 1. So P1 by P2. So therefore P1 equals to P2. By substituting like this also we can do, or directly by ratio also we can do. P equals to sigma AT to the power of 4. Sigma remains constant, area changes. So that's why P1 by P2 equals to A1 by A2 into T1 by T2 whole power 4, like this. So therefore from this we can say that P1 equals to P2. Next. Next here, two objects A and B have exactly the same shape and are radiating the same power. If their temperatures are in the ratio √3:1, then the ratio of their emissivities. So we know next question, it is 9th question in the same page 158. So we know our emissive power is equals to E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. A and B have the same shape. Same shape means here area of cross section remains constant and are radiating the same power. P also the same. The given situation, actually this is the formula. P is equals to E lambda sigma A T to the power of 4. Same shape, area same radiating power, P also same. And for any situation, sigma remains constant. And based on this we can write E lambda T power 4 is equals to constant. This is the required relation. So from this E lambda proportional to 1 by T power 4. So E lambda 1 divided by E lambda 2 is equals to T2 by T1 whole power 4. So that is the in the given situation, same shape means area same. same power, same radiating power. So that's why P is also same. E lambda 1 by E lambda 2 is equals to T2 by T1. So what is the ratio of temperatures given? Root 3 is to 1. So that means it is 1 by root 3 whole power 4. So T1 by T2 is given as root 3 is to 1 and T2 by T1 is 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3 whole power 4 is 1 by 9. So the ratio of their emissivities is 1 is to 9. Next, 10th question, here it is. A block body at 127 degrees Celsius emits the energy at the rate of 10 to the power of 6 joules per meter square second. So, emissive power of the first body is given as 10 to the power of 6 joule per meter square second. And at temperature T1 is equals to 127 degrees Celsius. So if E2 is equals to 16 into 10 power 6 joule per meter square second, then what is the value of T2? That's we have to calculate. So from this, emissive power is directly proportional to fourth power of absolute temperature. Simply E1 by E2 is equals to T1 by T2 whole power 4. E1 is 10 power 6. This is 16 into 10 power 6. What is the value of T1? While calculating this, temperature must be in Kelvin. Temperature must be in Kelvin. While doing these problems, temperature must be in Kelvin. So that is 400 by T2 whole power 4. 10 power 6 cancel. Applying whole power 1 by this is 16 can be written as 1 by 2 power 4, 400 by T2 whole power 4. So from this 1 by 2 is equals to 400 by T2. So T2 is equals to 800 Kelvin, or T2 is equals to 800 minus 273, 537 degrees Celsius. 527 degrees Celsius. So that is. So next to come to the 12th question here. Two black bodies at 327 degrees Celsius and 627 degrees Celsius are suspended in an environment at 200 degree at 27 degrees Celsius. The ratio of their emissive powers. So T1 is equals to 327 degrees Celsius plus 273. So that is equals to 600 Kelvin. And T2 is equals to 627 degrees Celsius plus 273. How much? 900 Kelvin. And T naught is given as 27 degrees Celsius plus 273. How much? 300 Kelvin. So that is the T1, T2 and T naught. So this is the first body and this is the second body. These two are kept in the same surroundings. Then what is the ratio of their emissive powers? So emissive power is directly proportional to T power 4 minus T naught power 4. Just now it wrote net emissive power or P, whatever it is. So from this P1 by P2 can be written as T1 power 4 minus T0 power 4 divided by T2 power 4 minus T0 power 4. So that is equals to 600 whole power 4 minus 300 whole power 4 divided by 900 whole power 4 minus 300 whole power 4. So here 300 whole power 4 common. So 2 power 4 minus 1 divided by here also 300 whole power 4 common. 3 power 4 minus 1. 2 power 4 16 minus 1, that is 15 divided by 3 power 4 81 minus 1 80. 5 3 is 5 16 is 3 by 16. 3 by 16 is the option. So this is the way to do the problems based on the Stefan's law. Next here.